Because this is actually in post, we don't really have any pressure for when we start. This is also already a fucking train wreck.
What do you mean it's a train wreck?
Outside your house.
We haven't even started.
No, so that's why it's a train wreck. We're just having a general conflab.
A fucking what? A conflab?
What are you on about?
A conflab. Haven't you ever heard of a conflab?
No, haven't you?
Oh,
is that what they call social interaction in Waitrose?
No.
A
conflab, yeah.
My god.
It is a noun. It is an alternative to using confab. It's an It's an informal, private conversation or discussion. See, we're just having a conflab.
But there's 4 of us, so it's not very private, is it?
Well, this is gonna go in front of the intro anyway, so just a cut together of this, Andy talking.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the second episode of the Totally Professional Podcast with myself, Andy, Josh, Jamie, and the one that talks a lot, Kevin.
Shalom alaikum.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello. And today we'll be starting proceedings by having a good old conflab about the recent... No, I can't do it. Stop! We'll be starting today's proceedings by having a good old conflab about the recent controversy surrounding the streaming sensation Ninja. So it's over to Josh, who'll bring us up to speed on the topic.
He's just become a bit of a dick.
There we go. Moving on.
Yeah, no, everyone knows what's happened with him, but basically...
I don't, so please fill me in.
Clap.
Josh would like to fill you in.
Basically,
I live under a rock. I don't know.
Sorry, Patrick. He was streaming and then he got killed, and then he got really salty about it, so he decided that he was going to report the player and scream into his mic that he was going to make sure that player gets banned. And then it turns out that the player was not even stream sniping.
Oh dear, that doesn't sound
And that's
good.
backlash on him a lot, and he just can't defend himself at this point.
Honestly, what a surprise.
What about the lag as well? Someone was reported and banned for having too much ping. Isn't that a bit...
Yeah.
You got reported for having not...
Is that an applicable reason to report someone?
No. No.
It gets worse.
Oh.
He streamed I think it was the next day, and then like all the people in chat was saying that they're gonna just taking the piss out of it, and then he threatens to ban any subs which actually pay to subscribe to him on Twitch, or unless they have Amazon Prime, but still, he threatens to ban them for anyone that mentions it, and then goes on a massive rant at calling anyone that mentions it immature, while screaming and acting like a 12-year-old himself.
Yeah, that was the same thing when the whole Ligma meme was popular, where he started banning like people that paid to watch him, even the people that donated like multiple hundreds of dollars, just saying like a single word, just Ligma in that donation as the thing, and he's like, yeah, ban that person, and people just started using like his name to donate, just like put in Ninja and then just like donate.
Do you like to know how bad it's got? People that have been subs paying money regularly for 2 years have stopped and went, why am I giving money to this?
Yeah,
that's what's happened.
I don't understand how. I mean, of course, if you're a streamer of that size, you gotta have like some sort of a bit of professionalism about things, but you can have a laugh still, even if it's like a meme that's been beaten over and over like the next dead horse. It's you just have a laugh about it. Ligma, lol.
As a streamer that big, to act that way is quite shocking.
Andy, how is your take on it?
I'll prepare a fresh ears to this situation.
I don't really... Well, from what I've heard, he sounds like a complete dick.
There we go. That's pretty much everyone's opinion.
Kavos made a video on him. Yeah, it was a good video. You should watch it on Kavos' challenge.
Yes, challenge. And the Bush Tucker challenge.
Then he tweeted out, "He wants part 2 on Ninja tomorrow. I went easy on him, but trust me, tomorrow I'm going for a few for the epic victory royale." And he replied, he actually replied, "Let me know if you want my opinion on anything, or if you are to use specific clips without complete context in your favor to prove the point you are trying to make." Oh dear,
Grr.
this guy, he's losing it. Actually losing it. Because how can you take that situation out of context?
I used to be sympathetic towards him because how he said he wouldn't play with women. I was sympathetic for him with that, but now, he's made this himself.
Something I did hear about Ninja was that on the day that Stan Lee died,
Yes.
he inserted Stan Lee's name into his stream title.
That was
Well,
quite
in a
offensive.
rather inappropriate manner, really.
Rest in peace, Stan Lee / new merch.
Yes.
What?
Oh, I've seen that, and honestly, like, someone popular just died, and you're gonna be like, new merch, lol.
Well,
Like,
see, if
hello.
you'd have titled it like "Stream Rest in Peace Stanley" or whatever, tribute or something like that, then it wouldn't have been so bad. But putting, afterwards, "This is my merch," it's just
And
inappropriate.
who wants to buy Ninja merch?
Well,
Unless you're 12.
I've recently watched a video on Jay's 2 Cents channel because I'm so much of a nerd that I watch people like that constantly. And there was a computer in the background built by NZXT, which is a company that produces computer parts, with Ninja decals on it, and I couldn't believe that someone actually ordered a computer where his Twitch logo, his icon, was like planted on the side panel, gigantic, just
what?
low
Imagine
quality,
that
just a
person has-
gigantic logo.
Why would you want that? You've got to be some sort of stalker if you want that.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
like-
I don't know. The case didn't even fit the decal. Like, it was really low quality. It looked really bad, and then they turned the computer around, and the inside was completely red, like a red theme inside, but outside it's just blue and orange.
Oh god.
It
God,
looked
the
really
mind,
bad.
the mind boggles. Jesus.
Yes, that seems to be everything we've got to say about Ninja. Anyone else got anything else
Well,
want to say about him?
I'd like to bring up the thing that he is probably still getting a bit of flack for, which is the I don't stream with other women because they could start flirting with me,
I think that's reasonable. To be honest, I think that's quite reasonable. That's one thing I agree with, because a lot of people will just sit and go, yeah, come up with all the bullshit. People will.
Yeah, they will, but why should it interest you? Just play with whoever you want. If you have this high and mighty image, sure, you gotta have some rules, but you're not gonna be like, oh yeah, I don't play with women because like, yeah, of course I'm married, but it's that.
What about gay people? Like, would they not flirt with him?
I mean,
stupid.
I kind of understand it, because there are like people ship him with other people that he hasn't even interacted with, just because someone thought that was a great idea to write a story about it.
It's like the Septiplier situation.
Oh god, please.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Why are all of these people's names such a
What was that?
Why are these people's names such a mouthful?
Well, it's Jacksepticeye and Markiplier.
Assalamualaikum, Seleptify.
Yeah.
Indian tech support, how are you? How can I help you today? Assalamualaikum.
Microsoft Tech, how may I help you today?
I do believe that Raggedy Dan will be making a video on this topic, so
yeah, or he may have already made of it, depending on yes, because this is being recorded. Yes,
it is currently the 22nd of November, if anyone wonders. So this is actually pre-recorded. 2020.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So yeah, and it will be broadcast on the 25th of November. So hello to the future.
Just an FYI, we don't condone racism against India.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, so we'll move on to our next topic then, which is the sugar tax and the
Oh,
hypocrisy of Jamie Oliver. If Jamie's gonna get us going on this one.
Well, I'm not happy with Jamie Oliver, to be honest. He's a bit of a tube, right? So let's just get right balls deep into it now. So let's get some context first, right? So Jamie Oliver, right, heavily influenced on sugar tax and fizzy drinks. Why is this a problem, you might ask? Well, one, it's upped the price of Coca-Cola or other soft drink brands that haven't chosen to change. And, well, I'll just give you the other one. Some that have kept their prices have decided to change. Now, one problem with this is Iron Brew. They fucked Iron Brew because of that bastard's thing on sugar tax. Like Bar, obviously, had some thingy with it, but it's frustrating because
Yeah, I believe they reformulated the product
it
to
doesn't say.
reduce the sugar from 10% to 5%. I think.
Yeah, it tastes so much worse now. I love
Yeah.
sugar. I'm just gonna get some sugar and just pour it in my own brew.
They've fiddled a bit with stuff as well, so they've put in a thing to replace it.
a sweetener.
Apparently, a sweetener, to replace it. Apparently, it's just as bad, if not worse, for you. So,
Oh,
thank you, Jamie
brilliant.
Oliver. Thank you.
Yeah, there's
So-
certainly disadvantages to artificial sweeteners as well.
But Jamie Oliver's also going on a
I can't
frenzy.
really comment on the Iron Brew because I have never had it. We don't have Iron Brew over here.
I feel the fucking shame, you daft bastard.
Yeah, I mean, I could import it if they carry it on like some wholesaler where I can get like a box of 24 of them if
Oh,
they're
you need to-
cans.
You need to fucking do it soon, because we're leaving yous, you bastards, fucking out the EU.
Well, then I'll have to pay import taxes, and that's not that bad because I've actually imported
you'll
stuff.
have to pay for the product, and then you'll have to pay for the
The
soft drink
shipping
levy,
then.
and then the shipping, and then the import duties. So it'll probably be about £10 a
And
can.
they'll probably get seized at the border because it's liquid and it could be fucking nitroglycerin or something that could explode or that could be mixed to
Iron Brew.
explode.
Yeah, that is Iron Brew.
Basically is.
So you can't. Okay, so I need to have it like boat shipped because air shipment. If it's gonna go off, it's probably gonna rip off the tail of the plane.
Get a fucking get an airdrop. Get an airdrop out of COD.
Yeah.
Just on the roof of this apartment building, just like, oh yeah,
700 point score streak, Iron Brew's pride.
just light off a flare, just throw it somewhere. It's like, hell yeah, a crate, like a military crate of Iron Brew. Just yes.
Am I correct in saying that Jamie Oliver's kids like eat McDonald's a lot or something?
Yes.
I don't know.
He said that in an interview, actually.
Is that?
Vocally said it, so if you want to search up that video where Jamie Oliver says that he lets his kids have McDonald's, you can do so. I forgot the link, but I've seen it. I've seen it. Take my word. But he's a very weird individual because he's pushing for a red meat tax, which is
not just red meat. I believe it applies to processed meats as well.
Oh my god, is he a politician or something?
It's based on a recent study, and they've suggested that we should have a tax of 14% on red meat and 79% on
What?
processed meat. That
That's
would mean that
ridiculous.
the price of a standard steak from Tesco's would rise from £3.80 to £4.33, and a pack of 8 pork sausages from Sainsbury's would increase
Ah,
from
fuck 'em.
£1.50 to £2.69.
What's Sainsbury's?
And he's probably having a thing where it's, oh yeah, this, yes, but any product that I eat, please don't. My kids eat this. Think of the children. Think of my children. Like, if you can't afford this, no, not your children, no matter. My children, I can afford this. Not this meat.
Thing is, he can afford that. He can afford it. He's been got cookery books and cookie competitions or whatever the fuck he does, right? Doesn't
much
matter.
is he
He's ruining my livelihood, so it doesn't matter what he does.
I'm gonna Google it.
But
I believe it is
$235 million. Of course he could afford it.
Yeah, he's got a net worth of that. Yeah.
Fucking funny. Right. So this meat tax, right? It's not all doom and gloom, right? It could present almost 6,000 deaths a year in the UK, according to researchers. People linking red meat with heart disease, stroke, stroke joke, and diabetes.
Stroke joke.
While processed meats like bacon, sausages, and ham, that can increase cancer. So it's not all doom and gloom.
No.
But
then,
I would say,
yeah,
like, should people be controlling what we want to do or eat?
And also at times where money's hard, people, the use of food banks is increasing dramatically. How will people on low incomes be able to afford even the small amount of meat that they're suggesting if there's a tax on it? It's quite difficult.
I don't
get jobs and do it themselves.
I mean, I don't understand why tax meat instead of like regulate production of processed goods. Why tax what you're like already the bad thing that is happening, and not just invest the time that you actually spent on researching all this shit on doing something so that it's better.
Lowering the price of fruit and veg, for example, the prices are extortionate.
Yeah, they should introduce a subsidy, a government-funded subsidy.
Well, they don't get money from that. They can make money off this. Jeez.
Yeah, it's difficult. Back to Jamie Oliver. There's some interesting articles, such as where he was pushing Burger King to back healthier food, but it turns out that his restaurants actually sell a burger which has twice as much fat as the Burger King Whopper.
Oh my god!
Do you think of that?
I think Burger King Whopper.
The Whopper.
Like,
yes.
Over here, if you squeeze that thing, it's just like there's just this constant stream of fat that drips out of it because it's so fucking juicy, or more like watery almost. It's really weird how he's like, oh yeah, let me sell this, but you don't do that, please.
Just what he wants.
Yeah, it's just, I think this is just a gigantic thing of pointing fingers at things while doing it yourself. It's like a gigantic hypocrite.
Yeah, he gets involved in all sorts, like in the recent thing where he went up in front of the House of Commons to talk about the effect of using cartoons to advertise products to children, and and it turns out a few years ago he actually used a cartoon in a recipe video to make muffins which contain 15 grams of sugar each.
He's an absolute loony. Anyway, his attention-seeking little whore is just wanting as much attention. He wants all the clout. He wants to see that he's doing something relevant or positive. But because he's putting misery onto the working class, basically, all us peasants, that means that he's going to be fine. Nothing's going to change with him. He's going to be fine. It's not going to affect him at all. if only it's just going to wank off his ego. He just wants a knighthood or a MBE for talking up all the lower classes.
I might be wrong, but I think he might already have one.
Nah, get it fucking
What?
stripped.
Wait, let me check. Fact check.
We did do a lot of preparation before this podcast, by the way. It's just
Some things.
yes, he is an MBE.
Oh my god. Jamie Oliver.
Elaborate on that. What is an MBE?
Just one down from a knighthood.
Yeah.
What does it mean? Is it just a status?
It's like a title.
Yeah,
It's like
it's
a
a
title.
title given by the Queen.
Oh, okay.
Which basically shows you.
It'll be in recognition for his service to a certain.
Yeah, to the royal kitchen of the army.
No. No. Yeah.
Service of fucking up the working class. There we go.
Oh dear. Yeah, he's had that since 2003.
Where's Gordon Ramsay's knighthood then? Yeah, you fucking queen. Get the fuck out of the kitchen.
He just screams at the queen to like get out. Don't stop being a queen, and she's like already considering it because Gordon Ramsay is such a character.
I love Gordon Ramsay compared to Jamie Oliver.
Yeah, I like.
I saw that video. I watched the actual full documentary of it. Like Jamie Oliver went into a kid's school or something and showed them what like chicken nuggets were made out of. I'm sure you've seen it, but
No, I've seen
and it's
that.
like all like the cartilage and like bad bits of the chicken. Then he made chicken nuggets out of them, and he's like, "Right, kids, who would eat this?" And they all just picked him up. His face was a picture, honestly. It's so good
I'm
to see.
probably the only one here out of us that actually remember Jamie Oliver before he went on his crusades, because I mean, he started 13 years ago with his school dinner. That was when I was at school, and I remember him starting it off. You know, before all of this, he was actually his first TV program that he did. He was actually quite decent.
Grabbing attention.
Yes.
What a guy.
Aye. So, would you say that we are done here then?
I think so.
Move on?
Yeah.
So, move on to a small topic on YouTube. If that's fine with
Small
everyone.
topic.
It stopped being
Expand,
small.
Josh, expand.
What I'm going to talk about first with a TH, no, first with an F, is T-Series. Not like the general, oh my god, T-Series is taken, like, I'm not going to go for that, but I want to do a bit of like what I've seen a video by the game theorist, and he did like a good explanation to why he thinks T-Series is coming up. So yeah, support. Has anyone heard that, by the way?
What?
Bitch lasagna.
Oh, that's
Oh god,
that best song going.
The T-Series, isn't that just like an Indian YouTube group or a company that does media?
Yeah,
like
it's a media
movies
company.
and stuff.
Like it's like a Bollywood YouTube channel, for what I've seen.
Well, they don't actually make the stuff. They're just like the middleman.
So they promote it. It's basically just like an advertising company almost.
Yeah, kind of. But there's a few instances. Oh, sorry, Andy.
Are they kind of like a network sort of thing, like Machinima used to be? They put like other people's content up, like that.
Yeah, I guess so. That's probably the best way to describe them. But
it's probably like a multi-people channel where it's. I think the few things I've seen were all like movie trailers, so it's probably just a condensed place for
weird stuff. And so there's a couple of instances from where it's looked a bit dodgy. So there was one instance where they gained 9,000 subscribers in a split second.
Mind when they were gaining subs when YouTube went offline worldwide?
Yeah.
That was interesting.
So that like sort of begs the question: is YouTube doing this themselves?
To kick the number one off the throne, you mean?
Yes, because they hate PewDiePie now after he went on that bridge and did that thing. It's basically what. Sorry.
Do any of you know why YouTube went down? Because there's a very, very funny reason for that.
What is it?
Flat Earth.
YouTube went down completely. The whole site like absolutely shat itself because because they removed Google Plus from the entire site.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Wasn't it like integrated so much that
it was integrated so much that like from what I've heard, programmers were like, this isn't factual information, it's just like shit that's been talking about, where people say that programmers were paid extra or like some plus to what they already gained from integrating Google Plus further into any platform that they were working on.
What even is Google Plus?
It's a social network that leaked a fuck ton of data, and then they were like, nope, we have the GDPR right now, and with that we're basically completely screwed if we just keep this entire thing up. So they just shut it down. And while they pulled the plug on Google Plus, they didn't see that it was basically just like a free plug extender to YouTube and other sites, or like a multi-plug extender. So they just unplugged Google Plus and everything else went down.
And unplugged YouTube.
Yeah, everything else, just like one after the other thing, just went down. I think Google Drive were down for non-paying customers for a few hours, and then you
That's really bad.
Basically, Google was completely like, Google itself, the search engine worked, but any Google service, even Gmail in some cases, just was not responding at all. You would get this starting site that where it's like you have the Gmail logo animated and like the loading bar, but that's it. It would just like load and then like it would complete the bar, but nothing actually happened.
I should imagine there was some squeaky bottoms at YouTube HQ.
It was basically just a panic reaction, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think we might have sprung a leak, Captain, and the captain is just absolutely like the CEO of Google is just absolutely like, just remove it, like get rid of it as fast as you can. And
use
people
flex tape.
Is this the first time that YouTube has gone down like that?
It's actually the first time they had like a full site down.
Wow.
Where
rest in peace.
Where it was multiple hours of downtime, because imagine Google is gigantic. They have a ton of servers. They have the whole YouTube reproduced on multiple locations.
I mean, so just look at the cars for Google Maps. There's a lot of them.
Yeah, so if one data center went down, for example, if it exploded, another one could be turned on in like a second, and everything would be the same. You just had like a second of lag, and that's it.
Then Google Plus destroys it.
and then Google, yeah, because it was everywhere. Your account, Google Plus. Your commenting, Google Plus. Your profile, Google Plus. It's just it was everywhere.
So the video I saw from Game Theory, who's basically from what I saw, what he explained about T-Series is that it's not them, but it's YouTube are catering them to them, because India is slowly like becoming more online, if you want to say it like that, and there's all these big companies like YouTube, Facebook, well, Google, Facebook, and Amazon, and all that are fighting to gain like
a foothold,
internet leadership over India. And YouTube have gone, oh, we know T-Series. If their thought is, if this is not facts, but their thought is, if their biggest channel is an Indian company, and a big Indian company at that, then people are going to be more catered to Google rather than any of the other companies. And then while PewDiePie just sat there like, please help, Mr. Beast.
Thing is, it's a brand they know as well.
Yeah,
I think that's the.
and yeah, they want to get the Indian viewers into their platform.
You see the population of India as well.
It's massive.
1.32 billion as reference to Bitch Lasagna. It's all interesting stuff.
Yes, I think the problem with that is you've got tons and tons of people coming on, but why is it getting all corporate all of a sudden? It's not just this. Jimmy Kimmel, the Ellen Show, they are getting recommended.
Yeah.
They're not trending.
Yeah, if you go
they're not actually trending. They are being
Yeah.
put on trendy.
And like music videos and sports clips and all corporate things, content from television providers, and it's all getting pushed a lot more than actual content made for YouTube.
Isn't there something happening with YouTube gaming as well? Does that even exist at all?
I think it
It
does.
does.
Yes, but I don't think
Yeah.
many
I
people
just
actually
deleted
use it.
I got it, but I was like, I don't need this.
I think YouTube gaming is the only way to do the whole member thing where with YouTube channels.
No,
I did it
that's
on the normal app.
that's been rolled out across the platform.
Oh, okay.
now. Yeah.
Because when I joined Dan's stream as a member, it was like, let me just open this whole entire new tab in your browser for YouTube gaming where you have the same thing, just like a confirmed payment thing.
It might be different in your country. I know in the UK it's now YouTube.
I have my personal YouTube set to English US as location.
I don't know that. I just know that it's been rolled out because it's on channels that aren't even gaming related now.
Yeah, the platform is dying, and then these smaller or just like even the bigger YouTubers, like they're losing views and subscribe. Well, not the subscribers are growing less, is what I'm think's happening.
They have
but
less
they are losing
growth.
views. Yeah, but the views are just like Keemstar's lost, I think, like half his viewership in like the past few months, just because YouTube has died.
Is it linked to Fortnite being released?
A game theory. No.
No.
But you can see it with other people where they got like a mass removal of like subscribers or views, where it just like went on some videos where they had this glitch where it just went minus, where you had like negative views.
It happened to Dan as well, didn't it? I think he was saying that what he thought was happening was they were removing a lot of inactive accounts, and he just kept losing subscribers. It was kind of unfortunate to see from these small content creators that it actually makes a big difference to.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's usually the small people that put in like a lot of effort to actually grow, and then you see just them being cut down because they sometimes lose more than they gain.
Yeah, ridiculous. It kind of makes it hard to motivate yourself to keep going.
Yeah, and before they changed all the rules, you were allowed to have like monetization from day one of you posting your first video. Now you gotta have like 1,000 subs. You gotta have this, that, and the other thing. There's a lot of rules now. And
Fucking shocking, eh?
Yeah.
and the next thing that's coming in is I don't know how YouTube are gonna react to this, but the whole copyright thing with the EU.
Article 30. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's I don't know how they're gonna do that, because if the company can get pinged for someone uploading a song, are you just gonna have like companies on there? No, independent creators, unless you like, I write this contract, I digitally sign this saying that I have no copyrighted content, or I have copyrighted content under fair use, or I am a company that produces my own stuff, that makes music using samples. How do you define that? I think they're like, yes, let's implement that, but they don't really know what to do.
As I watched a video of like a guy from YouTube talking, and he said that channels in the EU will probably be blocked from being able to upload and have all their videos blocked because they can't enforce the copyright laws anymore because it's too much for them to do.
That's annoying because you know this fear mongering. I can
Yeah.
remember when the first vote was, they said no. Everyone was going, yay, second. That was when everyone was saying, oh, Article 13 wouldn't actually do anything anyway, would it? It'd be fine. But the thing is, they'll kill all memes. That's a lie. Now, when they passed it, it's like, because everything in that article is so vague, it's so vague, they could do anything with it.
Yeah.
Since it's so vague, everyone's shitting it now.
I feel like this would be a good topic for Andy to expand on because he knows a lot about politics.
Well, I don't really actually know much about 13. I just know that I believe that copyright law is still staying the same. It's just the emphasis on who's responsible for it.
Yeah.
So it's not with the copyright owner to go and complain and say, "Oh, they're using my copyright," or it's not down to the person who uploads it to say that this is the copyright of. It's down to the platform to enforce it. So it'll be like Google being held responsible for copyrighted material being hosted on its platform.
Which is a huge platform.
Yeah, and there's a lot of movies, for example, or music just re-uploaded. If you get a copyright,
I think they've been preparing for this with, the demonetization of the manual checking thing that they do. It's probably all gearing up towards this. They're probably going to go down on an unappealing route of taking down first and then proving. I think it's going to be.
Yeah, it said you'd probably have to prove that everything in your video is yours.
Guilty until proven otherwise.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, so it depends how overzealous they want, because they'll be the ones held responsible for. So are they going to be inclined just to take the video down?
Would it be possible, say, for a UK content creator to do their video and then send it to someone in America to upload for them? Would that work?
But you wouldn't see it in the EU, would you? Because that content will be blocked for reviewing purposes in the EU.
Oh,
That's what I don't get. That's what I don't get. If we're not allowed to upload stuff, that means gaming, VODs, or live streams. No, gone.
I think what
all
they
gone.
I think what
The
they
thing
actually
about that, right, is have you got? This law is gonna make EU, lots of social media companies not want to touch Europe. So if YouTube rolls out, Google rolls out slowly, they're not going to have that presence there anymore. Same with Facebook and Twitter and whatever.
Yeah, then we've got to remember, what's already taken into account is fair use. So you're allowed to fairly use a certain amount of stuff. So that's not going to change. So it's going to be how the boundaries are defined and how it's enforced, which will depend how things go. That's something that we don't know at the moment. So
yeah, it's just wait and see, I guess.
Yeah. The next question is: are they gonna enforce this copyright thing in either direction, so that if you have your upload location be America, that you in the European region can watch it, but you can't upload here and people can't watch your stuff if it was uploaded in Europe?
It's like we're getting a giant dome over us.
It's like we're closing the borders with galaxy, out the galaxy high walls, just no internet in this area.
It's like the Simpsons movie where you got the dome on Springfield and everyone and
Yeah.
watching. It's like, fire! Like,
But even worse. Oh, sorry, Jamie.
UK's, everyone says, oh, UK's leaving EU, that means we're leaving Europe. Well, it looks like Europe's leaving the world. Goodbye.
Europe just like deleted off the map.
Europe left server.
Europe is
Europe
just
all I thought.
yeah, it's just
we're
deleted off the map.
Just to walk to the end of the flat Earth and fling ourselves off the side.
Flat Earth.
The flat Earth.
Yeah,
So it is.
yeah, it's gonna like Europe is just gonna be deleted off every map because the European Union is probably copyrighted somewhere, so you can't put it on maps. So it's just
England
like
is copyright.
it's just like you have the ocean, and then you have like the outline of the EU, and just like this content is blocked in your area.
Like
You'll see
whenever
that
you
some-
look at documents with redactions, where the document where they black out bits of content that can't be publicly available, so there'd just be like a map and a big black square over Europe covering it up.
No, they just fill the whole entire area with black ink, and it's just like this one gigantic blob, and they just have like Europe printed in white text so that they can't infringe on
This
anyone.
text is copyrighted.
Europe is redacted.
Yeah, but even worse than this, people are saying that this will probably become an international law.
Thing is, I've heard from someone who's seen like stats, they're very into it. And they said that most people in the UK would back it as well. 55% of people in the
Really?
UK would back this.
Back Article
Supposedly.
13.
Mhm.
Until they realise what it's about.
Just mental.
Yeah, it's kind of really scary for anyone making anything. For example, for me, I stream this to a German server because I have the lowest latency. If this were live, this is pre-recorded, and I upload from a location within Europe in Austria. So it's if I were to keep this whole thing up and this goes live and YouTube just cuts me off, I'd have to go get a VPN to upload it at like minuscule speeds.
Yes.
It's like this is a no-no for like everything, and if it's like worldwide, what is this? Just like Wikipedia is a trademark and it's just gonna be blacked out on people that don't like agree with this.
I think it can't pass as an international law. Like, there's gonna be so many people against it that
United Nations, this is a right against people who want to steal copyright memes. By the way, did you see someone was sitting in the EU Parliament on their phone flicking through memes as they
legend.
were sitting arguing over whatever it was?
There's I don't understand how that could even like gotten through to even be voted on. It's like, oh yeah, copyright holders are gonna have so much more power, and people who might infringe on someone's copyright are gonna get like completely deleted and sued until they can't even afford the most basic life things. It's like, hell yeah, get a gigantic thumbs up on that. Oh wait, that's copyrighted. I'm sorry.
Yep, the internet's gonna change for big time soon. Is it March or is that Brexit? I get confused.
I
guess
hope.
what? We're leaving, so fuck you, Kevin.
Will we?
So that's the second time I've said
no.
that.
Yeah, let's not open that kind of worms.
Just fades out of existence. Like
I think Brexit needs its own podcast. You know, it's not
Bonus
it's-
meme.
Oh yeah, agreed.
Yes.
Nah, that's a bit of a train wreck in itself. Anyway, there is a link in the description for a video about Article 13 if you are scared and shaking in your boots like we are.
literally shaking.
It's actually fake.
Literally.
Literally.
Allegedly.
And please cease.
Yes, so now I believe we're going to talk about Rockstar's new Red Dead Redemption 2 merchandise.
Make a point out it's quite ironic because we were talking about train wrecks and boots just a minute ago. So,
All planned.
Yeah, they've introduced their first range. I believe they're going to bring more out. And some of it has a rather hefty price tag. Does anyone fancy a barrel-shaped candle for £75?
Oh yes, I would. I'm rich.
A barrel-shaped
I'd rip someone's arm off for that price. Oh, die.
a barrel-shaped candle.
Yes.
Yes.
That are a month's benefits.
It has the most delightful fragrance of blood orange, incense, amber, rock rose, smoked cedar, sandalwood, violet leaf, and
For that
juniper.
price?
Did you
For
say
that
incest?
price, you wouldn't want to light it.
Well, to be fair, it's made by a very luxurious candle company called Joya, who are based in New York and sell their fragrances and candles in such locations as Harrods and Selfridges.
Who the fuck is that?
Who the fuck is that guy?
There is a set of candles which is Star Wars themed. If anyone has seen that.
Oh god, I've seen them. Yes.
Yeah, I've watched a video review on it, and
Yes.
it's basically just
They
take
actually
random.
smell like the
Yeah,
different
yeah.
spacecraft,
And
apparently.
my favorite is the garbage compactor, because
thanks
there's
for that.
actually a smell like that, and those candles aren't cheap either, but it's not £75 for a single candle.
I mean, yeah, going back to that, I mean, they're made by an expensive manufacturer, but the question is, why have Rockstar used such an expensive manufacturer and outpriced a portion of the potential purchasers? Because, you know...
Yeah, that's a really good question. Like, it's for money, but still, Rockstar still going to have to pay that company a lot for them to make the candles because it's a luxurious company.
Yeah.
And gamers aren't exactly the richest people on earth, so it's just.
Would you like me
good
to
portion
expand?
won't be. Yes, expand, Jamie. Yes.
I shall expand. Erect.
I always like you to expand.
Yes, right. So we all worried when microtransactions would make their way into real life,
What?
and today, microtransactions have made it into real life.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. I mean, there's other things you can have. Would you like a glass decoupage tray?
Oh, I would. How much is it?
£50.
Oh,
is that
boy,
in
I'll get
Waitrose by
two.
any chance?
No, you can only get it on the Rockstar warehouse, which doesn't sound
lovely.
Yes. Or you could have a Zippo lighter to light those unhealthy cigarettes.
That's cheap.
No, it's only £35.
Oh, I'll get 4.
Yeah. Oh, and what about a nice leather iPad case for £65?
Bargain hunters.
I could buy Nokia. I could buy
How
3
can they
Nokia
justify
bricks for that.
Those products aren't even made by high-end oh my god, high-end manufacturers. I would say they're cheaply produced.
I thought you were going to say Hyundai.
Hyundai.
Red Dead Redemption 2 Hyundai.
DLC. Get an electric car.
Electric horses.
Yeah. On the other hand, they do have T-shirts available for £20 each, which is quite reasonable.
I noticed that actually, because like everything else is ridiculously expensive, but the T-shirt's a normal T-shirt price.
Yeah, and they've got other small accoutrements like a set of 4-pin badges for £8 and some key rings which are ghastly for £4 each. Ghastly.
It's fair.
Oh yes, I'm looking at them now. They're actually not that bad, but they're Rockstar key rings, and no one wants that. People like the game, not really the company.
So do you think it's worth paying this high price for the exclusivity of these products, or
depends
or
if they have
Rockstar being overly tricky monetization?
If they have a sale, then I could see some people buying this just to have them, because they probably are pretty nice things. So the problem is at the current rates, I don't think that people that gamers, which usually don't really like spending a lot of stuff on a lot of things, are going to buy this because I didn't even I don't think I've purchased any game at retail price. I've always gotten them like on a sale or something because some games are just they're just so
Oh, I have,
overpriced.
and I'm a sucker for collector's editions as well.
Oh yeah.
Depending on what they are, I don't go for a lot of them, but I do get tempted.
Oh, you should
I
have
guess
gotten.
Rockstar are just sort of wanting to bring their merch and the game to a more premium market, I guess.
What I
Yeah.
was going to say to Kevin is, what do you propose for the glass jar candle on its price drop? 70%? Do you think that's quite fair? I think that sounds quite reasonable. Then the candles maybe down by maybe 60%.
I'd say that sounds about right, and probably not use like 17 different flavors in a single candle. Probably try.
That is a heady concoction, isn't it? I mean,
like, are you gonna have all of these mixed together? So you're just gonna have like this almost LSD trip of just flavors in your nose.
They won't be there. They'll be behind paywalls later for you to buy on later on.
I presume that fragrance is what they want to portray as the smell of Red Dead Redemption, when in fact the smell of Red Dead Redemption 2 would probably be like shit, gunpowder, horse shit, blood.
Where do you
rotting flesh?
Where do you get blood oranges in the game? Blood orange.
They were from like Australia.
Like,
wait, let's Google it.
I mean, the barrel candle isn't even attractive. It's like a black lump.
I think it looks quite nice.
Do you? I don't like it.
I don't know, but like I would like to buy one, but at that price, I just can't.
No,
it just look like coal.
No, it's in the shape of a barrel. It's got Red Dead Redemption 2 imprinted on it.
Yes, blood oranges. Blood oranges originated in the southern Mediterranean, which I believe is near Europe.
Is it?
No, that's next to New Zealand.
Yeah, so it's gonna get claimed by Article 13.
Yes.
I thought it was near Greece, wasn't it?
No, it's in the Wild West.
It's in the Wild West, next to China.
What?
Yeah, but imagine this: you just have a candle, and
the Mediterranean is near Greece.
Yeah, it's just layers of different smells that you have, or do you have all of them just bunched together somehow working? I don't.
Probably
All of the above, right?
Would you like us to do a review of these products?
It'd be interesting to see what profits they were making on these products, because I mean, Rockstar Games have been incredibly successful over the last several years. I mean, what was it? Red Dead made $725 million alone in the first 3 days of sales.
Wow. How much did it cost to make?
Less than that, I should think.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. They spent.
I think
it probably would be, yeah.
Yeah, GTA 5 cost half a billion to make, I think.
Oh, wow.
And they've taken $6 billion in revenue.
Yeah, they've really earned on not just sales, not the microtransactions, which not a lot of people probably bought. I hope so.
The 6 billion that is in like GTA sales, I think. The most financially successful media title of all time.
Yeah, imagine you just didn't like a Red Dead Redemption 2 outsell Red Dead Redemption 1 in like
the first 3 days total sales Red Dead, the original.
Holy hell. I mean, they did really like hype it up to and for the most part it stood up to the hype. I'm still a bit irked because there's no PC title out yet.
Well, it was the same with GTA 5, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then 2 years later you're gonna cash in on all the PC people.
Yeah, because if I've got a PC capable of running it at the time I'll probably buy it for PC. So
I'm definitely buying it for PC.
Same. I mean, I've played like I think 2 minutes of the first Red Dead, and then because it just kept crashing. So I've never actually played Red Dead Redemption, but if the second one comes out on PC, I'm just gonna buy it, like just sales price, not even wait for a sale.
Console peasant, no.
What?
I'm a console peasant. I don't have a PC. How is that?
Well,
yeah,
you
they've
already have the
certainly
game.
done well.
30 frames.
All these extra bits and pieces. I mean, on top of the base game, but I mean, like, if you think that Red Dead costs the same as Fallout 76, the base price,
Really? Yeah, that's true. Actually,
like a similar price for £5 difference, give or take, and the quality is immeasurable. The difference.
Since you're on Xbox, let me draw your attention to this, right? So, Red Dead Redemption, or that pirate game that flopped about 7 months ago,
Oh, what, Sea of Thieves?
Sea of Thieves.
I played that. I enjoyed the first week
First
of it.
10 minutes after you
I
did
played
the
it for a
first
week
mission, and then it repeated over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, I
That
think
flopped
I was really
completely.
sad about that because I played the
Yeah.
pre-alpha. I was in like the early phases, and then I was to bring that out. I'm like, you didn't do anything.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass. I think I downloaded it, but I haven't actually opened it up.
It's
'Cause
fun
there's
if you
just
make your
better
own
stuff
fun.
to play. Yeah.
But that's the problem. You got to make your own fun, and it's a game which is designed to be fun.
Yeah, that Sea of Thieves, I think it was everywhere, and then a week later it was nowhere because people just caught on to it real quick. Just like as soon as it came out, like reviews, oh, this is so great. 2 days later, oh, this is absolutely terrible.
Yes.
It just went from up hype to complete crash because it couldn't. Like Red Dead 2 had a real hype train going on about it, and people were like, "Oh, I'm gonna stay up so fucking late to download this, pre-order it, buy it, but just throw my money at my fucking console, download it as fast as I can." With
Yep.
And then it stopped after they delayed it for like
Well,
5 months.
I even had a disc version because I normally like to play my games on disc, but I just got so excited for it, I had to pre-install it, and then I was midnight with Josh playing it. Straight away at midnight, we were playing it.
Yeah,
that was a good night.
and you're like racing to download it on your extremely bad network card inside of the console that you're running, and it just oh my god, this looks so great. It's on a console and it looks really beautiful and all this hype, and it really lived up to it, even with content, etc., etc. All the stuff you can do in the game.
Yeah, the content. I mean, I'm only on about 40%. I haven't completed the game yet, like Josh. But...
and then you have Sea of Thieves, which is like, oh, hype. Fucking Ubisoft on a press conference showing off all their games. And I personally am really hyped about The Division 2, but that's a different topic. And you just see Sea of Thieves, some new stuff about it, and then it goes up and just straight down.
I think he may be getting confused about Ubisoft's pirate game that they're making.
Yeah, that's totally different.
Because Sea of Thieves is actually by Microsoft.
Yes. Fallout 76, that's flopped. It's not even out yet. Currys are selling it for £32.49.
What?
What?
What, Fallout 76?
Yep.
Is that Black Friday deal though?
That's not even out yet.
It is out, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, it is. It is released.
It came out last week.
It just shows how irrelevant.
Oh my god, yeah, 36 quid on Argos.
That's cheap. And then look how much Red Dead is. Like, it'll be full price everywhere.
Yeah, for ages, for at least 2 years.
That shows the quality of the game.
Yeah, but it's worth it.
So,
do you want to actually hear a fun fact about Fallout 76?
Oh boy, do I!
Oh yes,
It is made
tease
on
my ears with this
it's
delightful information.
it's not like a remake of Fallout 4 with a network cable taped to it. It is Skyrim fast forwarded about
Ark.
1,000 years with a network cable taped to it, and they ported Fallout to the engine of Skyrim and put online in it.
Basically,
it's
Ark.
trash.
Thank you. Shortcutted. So Ark. Explosive nuclear survival.
Yeah, I mean, an Ark, that's an indie game that, that was in early access for years, and I'd say it's just slightly better than Fallout 76.
Yeah,
Even though I haven't played.
I played it,
yeah.
and it was.
And then you
okay.
have Rust, which is completely indie, and that is a good game.
Rust is. I've not played it, but I've seen.
Yeah, from
Are you okay?
As you said, indie. I got indie on the team.
Oh my god.
yeah,
I hate you.
it is like Rust is actually really fun if you play with other people because it's just massive. And then you have of course Fallout 76, you can make your own fun in it because if you have friends you can do whatever the hell you want.
Oh, I'm fucked.
Out of nowhere.
Well, I don't have the game, neither that nor friends, so I'm double fucked.
That's
I'll
nice.
get Rust.
Not Rust, Fallout 76. I don't recommend you buying that.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be purchasing Fallout 76 anytime soon.
Well, if they actually made it on the engine that Fallout 4 was made on, it would probably work a little bit better, and not Skyrim. Not Skyrim's engine.
12-year-old engine. Older than Thomas the Tank Engine.
Imagine you just go out the vault and you have like loading screen, and then you wake up in a cart, two horses out front. Todd Howard did it again. he just put Skyrim into that game.
He's a funny guy.
Yeah, he's like he's like it's got a processor and a graphics chip. Put fucking Skyrim on it. But I would have
graphics chip.
I would have laughed.
Play Skyrim.
I would have laughed like just wholeheartedly if they legitimately like just put out a beta like for the first 300 people downloading or 500 where you go out of the vault and it loads into the first scene of Skyrim, and then when you're about to get your head chopped off, it just crashes. That would have been amazing. And then it like downloads a patch that's like 26 gigabytes to get the actual game. That would have been amazing.
Thing with the game. People are saying, "Oh my god, they've got a 40 gigabyte patch. It's gonna be so good." They don't. Their engine is so outdated. Say they update, say 2 megabytes in this file, and then the file's like say 10 gigs. You have to re-download that entire file just for that tiny little update. So they could have literally just done 3 things, and then there you go. That's a 40 gig update. People don't realize that.
Yeah, what I don't like about most people that make games is they have all their files like locked down to a specific format, and everything's like in just nestled inside of other files, and you have like I think GTA 5 does this as well, where you have one gigantic file and then a lot of small ones, and every time there's an update. What?
They couldn't have picked a worse time really to bring it out. We've had some excellent open world games this year, haven't we?
Yeah,
Far Cry 5.
Oh yeah,
that was this year.
Spider-Man. Oh wait, he's one.
Yeah, Spider-Man. That was open world, and
I mean,
Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Even though that
I'm yet
was
to play that.
Microtransaction laden hellhole.
Is it actually?
Yes, but it's got a good open world, and of course Red Dead. I mean, the open world in Fallout 76 just pales into insignificance.
Why would you bring out a completely broken mess after something that just crashed every single server because there was so much content uploaded of it with Red Dead Redemption? Why would you just publish something just like, yeah, here's the beta, and here's beta build 2 released as a full game. Have fun.
They should have spent another year on it at least before they release it.
They rushed it out, and I'm afraid to say I think they were quite lazy.
Yeah, all the textures. Yeah, but we covered this last week. But
yeah, it's just laziness, and it's taking players for a fool, really, because they're just throwing out a game that isn't ready to be played. So
to be fair, Ubisoft did that with Rainbow Six Siege. When that first came out, that was a fucking mess.
Yeah.
Now it's slowly progresses. It's over 3 years since I played the beta now, and that game's peaking. It's one of the games where, on release, it wasn't fantastic. It's the complete opposite of a normal game. So if they're able to emulate that, then
week, I think they made the U-turn on removing the violence and the sex and drugs, haven't they?
Oh,
what's this?
The censorship for China, because they want the Chinese market, so they had to remove. On one map there was a stripper. They've changed that to a hand.
Yeah.
Then they've got slot machines. They removed them completely for the game. And there's blood on the walls on some maps, and they've completely cleaned them. But it's taken too much, and there's a new DLC coming soon, so they've completely reversed it.
Yeah, didn't Rainbow Six Siege have like 1 million updates with like small changes to operators, listening to the community, just shaping the game how the players actually want it to be, saying this character is overpowered, please do this to them to try it out, and then they tried it out and got feedback.
What Siege do is they look at, I know we're quite off topic, and after I do this, I could possibly return, but what Siege do is, they look at Pro League, listen to the Pro League players, they listen to the community, and they look at the stats for each operator, because they've got a graph with pick rates and win rates. If you're too high of a pick rate and too high of a win rate, you will get nerfed. Thus, if you're too low on either bits, you'll get a buff. So it's quite a good system.
That's quite cool to have it leveled, to have it balanced.
Especially for a competitive game as well. What you need.
Definitely.
Otherwise everyone just plays the overpowered operators and it just turns into Overwatch.
Yeah.
It turns into Call of Duty, but with people. You just have one overpowered weapon and everyone uses it.
Ash has no hitbox.
That's still a thing.
Mm-hmm.
That was a thing when I played the game. I thought, Ash has no head.
Yeah. Nothing's changed in 3 years in terms of her.
Oh well, it's a bit of a meme at this point.
So, what's next? Are we moving on to the next topic, or?
Yeah, we said everything we need to say about gaming.
I believe so, unless anyone else has they'd like to add.
Fuck bugs dead though. Right, let's go.
Or what?
Tech.
Tech. Kevin.
Your word, like, Kevin.
Kevin's incredibly optional technology section. So this is where I pull up my duvet cover and go to sleep.
So, Battlefield 5 has been released, and it has implemented the new and improved ray tracing feature found on RTX cards by Nvidia, and performance is, as expected, pretty bad for a technology that is basically, that hasn't been ready for 5 years, and it probably takes like another 2 years to actually make it playable. Which, if you want like realistic reflections on things, there are actually software technologies that can already run this. You don't need a hardware encoder on your graphics card that's gonna cut down your frames per second that's just gonna third it. Because if you pull up everything, every single setting in BF5 on, let's say, the highest end RTX card at 2080 Ti, you're going to get steady between 80 and about 130 FPS. If you then change one setting, you're down to 40. Which is turning the ray tracing to low. And if you turn the ray tracing to high, you're gonna be looking at getting 29 to 32 FPS on a graphics card.
I might feel a bit stupid, but what's ray tracing?
Exactly, I was just going to
Ray
say.
tracing.
I want to be Tracer.
Can you please give us a brief summary?
Ray tracing is,
in layman's terms.
Ray tracing is basically calculating back. If you look at an image, for example, like a 3D rendered image in a video game,
right? Ray
tracing is going from your eyes, aka the camera, to the object that has a reflection on it, to the light source. So it traces where you are getting the light from and where the light hits the reflective object, then into your camera, which is supposed to give you like the most realistic reflections ever. In water, for example, I think they had a water test where it was absolutely stunning. A single frame. Not playable. It's basically just for reflections and having them be very realistic. But with modern reflection mapping, which is basically where you take a reflective surface and you put the surroundings onto it as a still frame, or in Battlefield 1, for example, they had like a different amounts of destructions for different buildings mapped onto water. So if you look at water and that building is destroyed, you're gonna see that building is destroyed without having actual ray tracing. Real-time ray tracing is very important, for example, for 3D animation studios like Disney and Pixar, because you just have so many. They have like just hangars, like airplane hangars filled with servers, all just working on one image.
Yeah.
And sometimes an image takes a whole day. Like a single frame takes one whole day, 24 hours to render.
Jesus, my
God. Damn it.
Because it's so intensive at how highly detailed they do their stuff. And with ray tracing, you can cut that down to like frames per hour or frames per minute even, because you have technology dedicated to doing exactly that. You don't have to simulate it anymore because you can simulate it on something that is very, very much faster. Now, what I don't understand is why would they put professional technology, because I don't know if anyone's doing like professional 3D work on a gaming graphics card, because this is marketed to gamers with all the flashy fucking fan thingies that have RGBs on them, that have the gigantic logos on them, and it just doesn't make a lot of sense when you could as well get a graphics card that is specifically made for professional people, that costs a lot more because it has these specific features. Of course, people say, oh, it's a cash grab because Nvidia just wants to make money, as do every single other country, which, as Josh said, is true, because you're basically putting something that can't be used properly onto a card, and you're just sitting there. Oh, yeah, you can do it, but in games where it's enabled, you're not gonna be playing them because it looks very beautiful, but you're gonna be running console frame rates.
Oh.
Which is not good.
If you have a 4K monitor and you play it, like this is all 1080p, all the numbers I just said. If you have a 4K monitor, you're basically, you can't turn it on because do you want to play a slideshow? That's
Basically
like,
what it would be. In
yeah,
1 frame per second.
It's like playing Red Dead Redemption 2 on a PlayStation 2.
Someone should do that.
Someone should actually try to hack that. That would be funny. But it's taking stuff that doesn't really work properly in this context of gaming and putting it on a graphics card. That doesn't make sense. My graphics card was €900, which is a lot for a piece of hardware that performs.
300.
It performs a bit less than a graphics card that currently costs €600. The only thing it's got is capabilities for ray tracing, which, to be fair, I sometimes have to do, so this is actually like a lot of help because I've been able to cut down hours per single image into a few minutes. I can't exactly
So what you're
say.
kind of saying is like this should be aimed at the professional market. You know, what kind of benefits could it have for the professional market?
Well, as I've said, 3D animation studios will have a ton more time to like review the things that they have done, because even studios like Pixar throw away so much time at like a single error that exists in like a still frame of, for example, fucking Toy Story 4, which they're currently making. You have a single part that doesn't fit, for example, from one frame to the next, like an arm of a character moves too fast and it doesn't look very, very realistic. They're gonna be able to get that fixed faster now, so you have a lot better production. But value for people that just want to game on these cards is not very good.
No.
And they're not gonna drop in price because the recommended pricing for a 2080 Ti is like $1,200.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I've seen that. It's like,
You
can
wants to
buy
do
a
that?
computer for that. And the problem is, it's not that much better than a 1080 Ti, which is half the price, almost. Like, the only thing that you're paying for is legitimately just the RTX, which is Ray Tracing X. And that's it. You can buy 2 graphics cards for the price of one, for fuck's sake. You can buy 4 of them if you get, like, a 1060.
Oh yeah, so that's a lot of money. That's
just for a GPU.
That's one part.
sure.
Like, what the fuck? There's people that have computers that are
People
that
have cars
price.
at that price.
Yeah, I mean, add another 700 and you have my car. That's it's ridiculous. And people are buying it because they're like, oh yeah, I have the new RTX 2080 Ti, which is below 25% faster than the previous generation.
And like double the price. Less, bit less.
Exactly. And
yes, I believe you wanted to say something about like
you
the
cut
advertising. Oh gosh.
Yeah, but
Hello.
hello.
Anyone hear me?
Hello.
Shalom alaikum.
Yeah.
But
the advertising. You said you were going to touch on that side of it.
you mean the advertising of RTX products?
Yes.
It is advertised completely wrong. Like, there are the Nvidia has a thing that it's a line of products that is called Quadro, which is professional grade graphics cards for like AI and machine learning and shit like that. They're like really expensive but feature rich parts. And gaming GPUs are just performance. Yes. But they don't need these professional features. So it's clearly a like, oh yeah, look, we can do this on a graphics card that costs $1,200. You can max out your game and play it at impressive 30 FPS.
So basically trying to flex on people.
Yeah.
With flex tape.
You can't fix that with flex tape. You need like this is unfixable. You need like at least 3 flex tape.
Gorilla glue.
Oh, I just had a massive yawn. I do.
That's totally unprofessional.
You
I quit.
disrespectful bastard.
I'm fired.
So did we want to wrap up with an extra little mini topic?
Oh, yes,
we've got
it's a mini topic with a depth.
Yes, so yeah, we'll spend the last sort of 10 minutes or so talking about unemployment, I believe, Josh.
Just employment, like the state of everything, like the housing market, and yeah. So I basically just sort of thought of this reading this article, BBC News.
Yeah.
It was like basically that I'll put it in the description, but it's titled "Can you be employed for 1 hour's work?" And it's like talking about sort of like how the government's saying like, oh, the more people are being employed and employment pay is going up and all this, but as then there's people sort of working for an hour a week.
Yeah.
Like this guy tweeted, apparently his son, he's got a new job. He has to get up before 5 to walk 45 minutes for 6-hour shifts. So 6 o'clock shifts in a warehouse. There's no buses. So far, he's been sent home 4 times out of 8. So he's walked to work and just been sent home.
That's unbelievable.
This is legal. But how?
Yeah.
Wait, he's walking to work and then being sent home?
Yes, yeah. It's happening.
For what reason? Because he's tired?
Overstaffed?
No, it's because basically we have these things in the UK, I presume they have them elsewhere, called 0 hours contracts, where you're not contracted to work a set amount of hours. So they'll say to people, yes, you'll need to come in tomorrow, but they'll say it to like 50 people, and then the next day they might only need 40 workers. All those 50 workers go in, they'll send 10 home.
And they're well within their rights to do that because the contract that these workers have signed.
It doesn't guarantee them any hours.
Coupons are terrible for this.
It's terrible.
What I don't understand is that the government saying, oh, new jobs, more, lots of new jobs, lots of new jobs. No, it's not. The only reason that the employment figures have gone up is because of the increase in 0 hour contracts, especially, might add, in retail.
Retail's terrible for like
it's easier to get people sacked as well.
Yeah, like the fast food industry and
warehouse to be on a contract.
Warehousing jobs and
it should honestly be rated on like pay per hour and hours worked and not jobs, because I can fucking hire like 17,000 people and only let 10 of them work and send the rest home. Be like, yeah, you have 0 hours today.
Yep. That's what's happening. And
I know I know a lot of people that this has affected. Like I know 2 people that work at Coupons. They've gone into work. I know the other day the singer in my band, she works at Coupons. She went into work, and then they had too much staff, so they literally made her sit and do a book club for 2 hours, which is better than sending her home, I guess. But she's been sent home so many times before just because
book club.
You're on a 0 hour contract. Some book club, what?
They made her do what?
A booklet, like I don't know, like a school worksheet, but for like health and safety, I guess. Just because they had too much staff.
Okay.
Jeez.
And then they're sending people home, like they're giving like people 3 hours a week because 0 hour contract. It's really bad.
That is ridiculous.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, or you raise we're gonna raise employment rates but not hours work because money.
Basically, everything is because money.
Just numbers at the end of the day.
It's like here on this article it says about the Office of National Statistics, every 3 months they do a survey called the Labour Force Survey. It's sent to 90,000 people at random who work in the UK. And to qualify to take part in that survey and to be classed as employed, you only need to have worked 1 hour in a week.
And 1.4, I think 1.4% of people work 1 hour a week.
Yeah.
Which doesn't seem like a lot, but that's 400,000 people. Which is actually insane. In the UK.
Yeah, that's statistics for people working 6 hours. That's to put that into numbers. That's 1,000 people who are only working 6 hours or fewer.
It's quite ridiculous. You can't live off 6 hours what your wages.
Yeah.
Unless it's like $1,000.
I mean, I presume a proportion of those have some sort of like tax credits or benefit top-ups, but there's a lot of people who don't or don't claim them for some reason.
Yeah, but people, it's like really hard to get to them, isn't it? Like,
yeah, it's difficult. They're difficult to access, and they make it difficult for people. And
because money.
Yeah.
Good money.
The housing market.
Which is housing market, no good.
Which in tatters, as someone I know knows about. Dan.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, it's basically, I saw an article ages ago. I can't remember what it was really about, but it said the future, this generation basically will be renting for the rest of their lives because house prices are stupid.
Roommates.
It ties, yeah, literally, that's the only way, because it ties in with these like working hours and stuff, because most people can't get the hours to be able to buy a house, and if they can get the hours to, say, put a deposit down on a house, then it's at a job where they've either had to get like 2 degrees to work, or it's at minimum wage, so they can't even afford the house anyway. And
and it's not just people who are on low hours. It's there's stories of nurses who work in central London, and they don't receive enough money to even rent a house in London. They're having to commute long distances.
Yeah, that's a nurse.
Because they can't afford to live where they work. So, I mean, that opens another whole story up about nurses being underpaid, etc. But maybe we'll touch on that another day.
Can you work multiple jobs in the UK?
Yes, you can. Well, it depends on your employer. Some might have a stipulation in your contract that you don't. But on the general side, I think people can mix and match and do like several lower hours jobs.
Yeah, which is what people are going to have to do these days. Then there's going to be less jobs available for people, and we're back into that. Oh, there's no jobs left.
There is no jobs left as it is. That's the
thing. You blame it on other people.
Blame it on the immigrants. That's fine.
God.
Oh, that's where you're supposed to laugh and make me not sound like a right racist, but hey.
Yeah, I think that's something we don't really want to go into at the moment.
God, no. Or the state of this godforsaken country.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I just, your thoughts go out to people who are just struggling so much on a daily basis to just put food on the table, to feed their kids. People who are going to work and working a decent amount of hours, but getting paid so little that they can't even afford to feed themselves.
Yeah, all the money goes in rent for it, over their head.
Or for example, what we have here sometimes is where I've worked like a summer job where you work a set of hours and then you can do extra to get some extra out of it per hour. You actually get like a better rate per hour that you do overtime. And then I did that a second summer. I was like, oh yeah, that was quite nice. I bought myself some nice things with that money, and I was working like extra, and then I said like, oh yeah, I've clocked in really early, clocked out really late, and I've done dishes, etc., etc. Do I get like what is my extra hour rate? And then this fucking person just laughed at me and was like, we don't have that. You don't get your extra hours paid.
Oh yeah, it's a similar situation. People don't get extra for overtime all the time, and you know, people who work shifts a lot of the time, they don't get paid more if they work overnight and things like that.
Yeah, there's a lot. It used to be quite a big thing getting. Well, I think it used to be quite a big thing getting paid extra for overtime, but it's very rare to see now.
Yeah, you would have got, you know, back in, you know, say, you know,
Back in
15,
the
20,
old
back in the
days.
day, so to say.
Some random blood.
Anyway,
pretty
does
much
anyone
ties
else?
up.
Yeah, I think so. I think we've had a fairly decent conflab, as I said earlier.
Conflab.
Oh, yes,
That term
indeed.
still
Good
cracks me up. I don't know.
Conflab. It just sounds like conversation, but with flabs.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We've just had a flabby conversation.
Yes,
Sounds like
we do not
corn.
condone fatness or fat discrimination.
We don't condone fatness or fat discrimination.
Shit, I just contradicted each other.
Oh dear.
What are we?
We love everyone. Everyone
Yes,
who listens.
unless
No,
then
equally.
that's fine.
Not. Oh, please don't give a shout out. No.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh god.
Yeah.
On that note, I
Who's
think
hot
it's
rod?
time that we should say goodbye.
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 Malummerishom.
Shagalom.
And
Gone.
and I think we're going to be back next Sunday, live or not.
Well, yeah, we don't know yet. So,
Yeah, that's always a bit random.
Smash
Yes.
like and subscribe.
Go subscribe to PewDiePie.
Like, comment, and subscribe if you agree.
Let us know your thoughts. Actually, that's
Yes,
a big
yes,
important
give us
part.
your-
Let us
yeah,
know
yeah.
your thoughts.
yes,
And give us as much criticism as possible, please.
Yes,
Yeah,
follow
we-
us on Twitter
Don't
at
be too mean.
TTPP tweets.
Sounds so
or-
funny. TTPP.
TTPP. TTPP.
Yeah,
TTPP.
sounds a bit like titty PP.
Smash golden like button for a chance to win.
Absolutely nothing.
First 500 people to hit golden like button will get £1 million.
Hit the golden like button for a golden shower. Oh no, dear, no.
Well,
That's taking things in a completely different direction.
As long
I-
as it's a golden shower and not a different type of shower.
well, on that note, I'd say
On that bombshell.
On that
Good night.
bombshell,
Yeah.
good night.
good night and goodbye.
Bye.
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 Don't copy strike me.